Hello, and welcome back to Reddit Stories with Mio. Tonight, we have a scary story from the r/scary stories subreddit, posted 5 years ago by a Reddit user whose account has since been deleted. The title of the story is Emergency Alert. Do not look outside your windows. Let's begin. Emergency Alert. Warning. This is not a test, I repeat, this is not a test. Citizens of the world, lock all doors, close all of your blinds, do not go near any windows, do not look outside, do not leave your house, stay in a room with no windows, gather what supplies you can, turn all of the lights off, and do not open the door for anything. When I first heard it, it did not even sound real. It sounded fake, like something out of a horror movie, but it was still an emergency, so I decided I should probably do what they said. I grabbed a flashlight, a pillow, my phone, my charger food, and a few basic things to keep me occupied while whatever this was played out. I had no idea what was happening, but once I got into my bathroom and settled in, I texted my parents to ask if they had received the alert. They had. They said citizens of the world. Did they really send that out to everyone? I remember asking myself that. So I texted an internet friend who lives on the other side of the world, and they said they got it too. The exact same message. And honestly, that made it even scarier. They were telling us what to do, but not what was actually happening. People are terrified of that kind of silence. 20 minutes later, another emergency alert came through. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Unknown creatures have been knocking on people's doors and killing anyone who opens them. There are 5 major hotspots: Washington, D.C., Tokyo, Toronto, Moscow, and London. They have been found all over the world, but they seem to be attacking those places first. This is an invasion. Stay in your rooms, do not open any doors, do not look outside. They can kill you instantly with just a look. May God help us all. Emergency sirens started going off everywhere. Nuclear sirens, tornado sirens, everything at once. What was even happening? Was this some kind of prank? How could an invasion be real? Were aliens actually real? I could hear car alarms outside. I could hear things being destroyed. They were here. They were killing. It sounded like a war zone out there, but without any gunfire. What could the government even do? Just shoot them? But if looking at them killed you, then how could anyone fight back? There did not seem to be any possible way we could survive something like this. It felt like the whole world was about to die. I texted my parents again, but there was no answer. I texted my brother and my sister. Nothing. That was when I really started to panic. What if my family was already gone? And all I could do was sit there and listen to other people's families being murdered. The sirens started again, louder than before, shaking my entire apartment. I wondered what the other people in my building were thinking. Probably the same thing I was. This is it. This is the end of the world. Then I heard a knock at my door. Someone was screaming for me to open it. It sounded human. For 1 second I actually wondered if I should, but no, that would be stupid. Another emergency alert came through. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Extraterrestrials are attacking every major city in the world. There are too many of them. We do not know what they want. Stay inside. Millions, if not billions, are dead. Stay inside. By then, it felt like the government had already given up. There was no real plan, and every alert seemed less helpful than the last. If billions were already dying, I did not know how anyone was supposed to survive. I mean, I had survived so far, but it did not sound like that would last. I could hear buildings collapsing. I could hear cars being torn apart. My own building had been hit more than once. It sounded like my whole world was crumbling around me. At that point, there was barely any reason left to hope. There were too many dying. Too much chaos. It felt like these things would get everyone eventually. Part of me wanted to know what one of them looked like. But if I saw one, I would die. I hoped somebody, somewhere, managed to take a picture. Because if humanity somehow survived, I wanted to know what had done this to us. But the end still had not come, and I did not even know how many people were left alive. I started wondering if maybe I should just kill myself first. Maybe it would be better to die before they got to me. I did not want to die by those things, and besides, what if I did survive and ended up living with survivor's guilt? Then there would be no way I could. Emergency alert. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The extraterrestrials have left, and they have left billions of people dead. If you are alive, please tap the button on your phone now. If you are listening on a radio, tune to 104 and state your name and city. We will update you in 20 minutes. There is no way I would want to live. That is what I was about to say. And yet somehow, I was still alive. Did I want to die now? No, but how many people were still out there? What did those things want? Why did they attack us? There were too many questions to even hold in my head. At that point, all we could do was count whoever was left and somehow start over. But how does a world like ours recover from something like that? How long would it take before anything felt normal again? Would humanity ever be the same? I did not know. What I did know was that I could have lost everything. I was going to text my friends and family and come back with whatever numbers I could find. Then the last emergency alert came through. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. We have accounted for a little over 1 billion people. Not every country has the technology to report yet, so we will investigate those areas in the coming months. We do not understand what these creatures wanted or what they may have taken. In the next month or two, we will begin figuring out the next steps for humanity. May God help us all. Only 3 people I knew had survived: my sister, my uncle, and my best friend. Everyone else was dead. I wanted to kill myself. But at the same time, humanity needed me. We needed each other if human life was going to continue at all. Only time would tell what came next, if there was even going to be a next. 2 weeks later, the writer added one final update. The guilt is too much. I'm a fucking coward. Goodbye. What did you think of this story? Did the emergency alert format make it scarier? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time.